What's that sound at me? Oh.
I was good on my own, that's the way it was.
Welcome to Civil Disobedience.
That's the way it was. You was good
I'm
on
your
the
girl,
low
Civil. I want you to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. Let me know how you feel about what we're sharing on this channel. Just give you a little of that Rihanna. We're talking about baby mamas. We're talking about wives. And we're going to address Jermaine Dupri and this stripper rap music that he's been talking about. So let's just go ahead and cut my girl off. Remember that as our theme, baby. They needed us. Never forget that. James Brown says, this is a man's world, but it would be nothing without a woman or a girl. So I normally address politics, and I'm going to go back to that when we have enough information for me to digest and, regurgitate to you guys. But for fun's sake and for entertainment's sake, we're going to also cover popular culture. So Love and Hip Hop Atlanta has come to a conclusion. Part 2 aired last night, and I didn't get a chance to watch it until this morning. And I wanted to make content not about each and every show and what happened and how I felt about this action or that one, but I wanted to give an overall opinion over actions if we're talking about in reality versus TV. So the thing that I want to really cover that really has been really agitating me has been the situation with Kirk and Rashida, and the situation with Bambi and Scrappy. Now, just to give a little background information, Kirk and Rashida are a couple who are on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Rashida is a rapper. She's also married to Kirk, okay? They have 2 sons. And Kirk has an outside baby with this young girl named Jasmine, who was Kirk's former mistress. He was kind of keeping her in a house and keeping her kept up and all of those things. And on one of the shows, she announced that she was pregnant. Skip up to now, 2 years later, they're actually interacting with the baby. His name is Cannon, and he's 2. And we're seeing where Jasmine is kind of a little frustrated with the fact that she has to tolerate listening to Rashida. Okay, so in another part of the seasonal episodes that have come on, we have Bambi and Scrappy. Bambi is the new wife of the rapper Scrappy. And if you don't know this show, it basically covers love and hip hop artists, the people that they were in love with, are in love with, the infidelities. It's really just a way to keep people current and keep us listening and them putting out music. And I love it. I'm here for it. So we were brought into the actual relationship of Scrappy and Erica, his former fiance, who is also his baby mom or mother of his first child, his oldest child, his daughter Imani. And Scrappy, I have been so proud of him because he has been so current, consistent with Imani. She's currently 14 years old. Their relationship ended without a marriage. Erica gave back the engagement ring. And Scrappy, after taking his time to basically, be a single man, met Bambi. They were in and out of love for a while. He finally decided he wanted her in his life. He proposed, and now they're married with a beautiful baby boy. So I just want to discuss, and this is for comments. So if I ruffle feathers, hey, your girl Civil is trying to get some people to comment on her stuff and, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. So it's not for anything other than me to get people to express, because I love it. I love hearing what people think, and I love expressing how I feel. So it's no animosity or maliciousness here. It's just me expressing what I've seen and what I would like to put out there on this information, since people want to be on reality TV. First, I just think that we have to understand the dynamic between what it is to be a wife and what it is to be a baby's mom. Okay, or even a mother of a child, whichever title, you want to give yourself. There is a dynamic. And what I mean by dynamic, it is those two areas in a man's life can come to a point where they often collide and create an obvious visual clash in life. And it has to be dealt with, or it will continue to function in a dysfunctional manner. So, Kirk and Rashida decided to stay together after Jasmine gave birth to Cannon. That's one model. And here we have Erica and Scrappy, and we're going to put them together first for the sake of the show. Erica and Scrappy decided to separate. They're no longer together. Erica did not want to get married. She decided that he wasn't being honest about things. And so now you have Scrappy with Bambi. All right. And I feel that Jasmine and Erica are asking to be identified in a manner that a wife should be identified in, whereas they did not put themselves in the position to be wives. Now, I know a lot of people are going to hate me for this one, and that's the point in these types of channels, to help to get out there that opinion that is not so popular. It's very popular today for people to say, deal with your man, and you're absolutely right. Everybody dealt with their man how they saw fit. Kirk stayed with Rashida because Rashida was cool with that. They separated, but ultimately they got back together. Erica and Scrappy separated, and now he is married to Bambi. So that means that the men have to consider the wife, regardless of whether he stepped out and made the baby on her, as in the situation with Kirk and Rashida, or the baby came before the wife, as with Scrappy and Erica. Now, we understand that a mother has to be respected, notified, communicated with. That's in all well and good. But I feel like a lot of it is the baby moms are kind of wanting to put their foot down in a place where they're not, their foot is not even on that ground. You can't put your foot down with this man's wife. Okay? And I don't understand why more people aren't privy to that. You know, when you sign up to be a mother, you sign up for all that comes along with it. I'll tell you a little bit about my situation in a second. Regardless of the relationship that happens after the child is born, you as a mom, you're having to deal with the dad just as he has to deal with you, regardless of how you all are feeling about each other. You may conceive a child in love. However, at the end of the journey of raising a child into adult, you don't know where you and your partner will be. You may be separated. You may not. Like, I'm not with my husband anymore. We have 2 sons together. And I had so many women on. I watch other bloggers. Let me share that too. And I want to kind of shout these bloggers out because I watch theirs all season long. And I just want you ladies and gentlemen who subscribe to listen to them too, because their commentary helps me to develop where I'm going with what I'm saying. So I watch Funky Dineva, Bondi Blue, and Bondi Blue is from New Orleans. Shout out New Orleans. I also watch Layla Lynn. I watch Tasha K, Tasha with the T. I also watch Neek at Night. These are all YouTube bloggers. So if you get a chance to subscribe and like and comment to theirs, you know, you would see where I'm coming from with the information that I have. Since Day One is another one that I subscribe to. So my husband and I have been separated for about 5 to 6 years now. I have a son that's 13 and I have a son that's 10. Okay, so our boys were very young when we separated. We have a mediation where my father is the person who takes the boys to and from their grandmother, and their father picks them up there. Now, this is what I have as a wife. We are not even divorced yet. He's living in Vegas, I think, with his girlfriend. I'm currently living with my boyfriend in Tallulah, and we're working out the inner and outer workings of a divorce. This is before we ever make it to a judge. We've come to this agreement. I have met the women that he has dated. He has met men that I have dated. but never at any point in time were we ever trying to interact with one another how these ladies try to interact on this show. I'll give you an example. Now, Imani did ask for everyone to come to her birthday party. And I felt like that was a big girl move because she, as a 14-year-old, wanted everyone in one room watching her have a great time as a teenager who was blossoming into womanhood. And I felt that was real amazing. Where I felt everyone was selfish was at the party, the arguing back and forth, And then after that died down, because the camera didn't show any of that information, Erica wanting to sit down with Bambi after this altercation. Well, what do we have to talk about if we're getting into it like this at a child's birthday party? I was wholeheartedly with Bambi. Like, she's communicating with you. You're my husband. I feel like I shouldn't have to communicate with her because we don't know what's going to be said, and I'm not sure of my nerves. And so you go ahead and get with her and do your thing, and I'll be here for whatever you decide. Now, I've said this about guys that I've dated and their baby's moms. Like, it's no agreement she and I have to come to. You and you guys get, and I'm nobody's wife in the moment right now. My marriage is good on paper, but we not together. So I feel like Erica is getting to a place where she wants to put her foot down, where she no longer has that control. Then she hits Bambi, and this is she hits Bambi and Scrappy, and this is the first part of the reunion, with saying he doesn't wear the pants in the relationship. So now when he was with Erica and he was trying to work things out for her favor, and he was handling things the same way he's handling with Bambi, were you wearing the pants in the relationship? You're saying that now because he has to work with his wife, and you don't want her respected because you feel like you came first. Now, let's look at Kirk and Rashida. Okay? Jasmine allows the baby Cannon to come over for Kirk and Rashida's anniversary party with just family, so that the baby can be oriented into the family and get used to the dynamic that is his dad with his wife. Rashida, as a mom, announces things that she sees. We got to get rid of that pacifier. He's still in pull-ups. We're going to have to work on that. It was not relayed the best to Jasmine. And I can't necessarily remember the inner or outer workings of how she found out about it. But I do know that it was made to in her mind, look as if Rashida was criticizing her parenting. So she decides that she needs to be able to communicate with Kirk personally and not go between Kelsey, which is like his 20-year-old daughter, or anyone else, her mother and grandmother. She needs to be able to talk to the father of her child herself. Skip to where Rashida finds out about it. Rashida meets with Jasmine and puts it back where Jasmine is in touch with Kelsey. Again, everybody felt like I was wrong for saying, hey, that's Rashida's business. That's how she wanted to do it. That's how she's comfortable. That's how we're going to do it right now. Jasmine needs to be able to contact the father of her child. That's so petty and wrong. And that goes back to how everything is always falling on the woman who's trying to keep the same man. Everybody wants to make her the bad guy for wanting to stay in the relationship and wanting to have the same last name as the man she's having children by. I don't see anything wrong with them handling their family how they wanted to, because guess what? When Jasmine started messing with Kirk, she knew there was a Rashida, and that Rashida was Mrs. Frost. She was cool with that. So you came up pregnant, you decided to keep your baby. And let me just tell everybody this. You do not get a prize for keeping babies. That's just what you do. That's human nature. That's why the earth is populated. You keep your baby. That's what you do, okay? Now, once the baby's here, you do what you have to do for the child to be comfortable. So that means that when, in Jasmine's case, if Rashida comments to her husband about their child, because that's how it works in the court of law, okay? Rashida being tied to Kirk, makes her responsible for Cannon as well as Kirk. That baby is their responsibility. Jasmine is benefiting from the fruits of their labor towards Cannon. So if Rashida is commenting to her husband about their child, hey, Jasmine has to deal with the fact that she made a child with a man who was still in a family dynamic. Now, here's the issue I have with everybody and why I always say that baby mamas do too much. Okay? And I want to say it like that with the broken vernacular and everything like that because that's how it is. Baby mamas do too much because you come into the situation talking about how you owe no one nothing. Her man is the one she needs to be mad at. Deal with your man. So after she's dealt with him and they have come up to their solution, and their solution is not what the world would want them to do, but what they want to do, which is continue on in a relationship, the same way you didn't have to consider her, she doesn't have to consider you. The same thing with Erica and Bambi. You decided to break up with Imani's father. You decided to get into a relationship where you have currently made twins with a man that you aren't even willing to put on the show. Now, Bambi is on the show because she's in Scrappy's life. So any man that you're relating to would have that love and hip hop balance and check coming in for your household if you would focus on the man that you had twins by, Erica. But no, you want to consistently focus on Scrappy and Bambi. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, where do you get off expecting someone to stop building a life with the woman that said, I do, because you wanted to have a child? Okay, the baby's here. We're dealing with that. But now, when this man marries, if this man is married and they stay together, the child's dynamic includes his wife. So that means that all this clashing you're doing with her is for what? You weren't doing all that clashing when you were sneaking and giggling and laughing and having fun making the baby. So don't do that now. And I tell people all the time, don't get angry because your choices come with consequences. Just like I got married. My husband was the first man I'd ever slept with. You don't see me running around calling him and harassing him and whoever he's sleeping with and your kids needing I'm taking care of business myself. You understand what I'm saying? But somehow a woman who's single and by herself automatically thinks she deserves a reward for doing what women have done all the time. Now, if a wife has to deal with the dynamic of losing her husband, how are you as a woman who didn't have a husband so hell bent on being noticed by this man and his wife? I just don't see how that works. So the question that I ask is, how does sympathy factor into the sisterhood of being a woman when you have the dynamic of the side chick versus the wife? Or the baby mama versus the wife. Okay, we had Layla Rashawn with Nicole Murphy in the last video. We have Erica, the former fiance / baby mama, and the new wife who just recently had a child that she's got to get used to. You've got to realize. And everybody wants to bring up Bambi being in the jacuzzi when Kirk was cheating on Rashida. Single. I know all these single women who on their hot girl and city girl stuff. You not gonna criticize Bambi for being on hers when she was a single woman and now trying to work with her husband. But that's how people do. That's how women do each other. We up and down. Oh, she cool when she can put on her lip gloss and her weave and go out there and shimmer with you guys as a single woman. But her breastfeeding and I'm worried about my baby. Whatever you decide about Imani is between you and Erica. I'll just read the text messages and all that stuff like that. Everybody wants to jump down Bambi's throat. Well, we didn't have anything to say about Bambi being in the jacuzzi before. Now, why are we bringing it up? Because we want to say that Erica's a better person. Well, hey, Erica's got 2 baby dads, just like Scrappy's got 2 baby moms. So if we're talking about hoeing and all that stuff like that, define it. What's the definition of being a hoe? You know what I'm saying? We could throw that phrase at each other all day long. That's why I tell people, let's not step on toes and call people hoes. Okay? We've defined hoeing as those people that have gone behind each other's back. Okay, and I feel like people need to own it if you are that. But Bambi's not that, and I don't feel that Erica's that. But I'm just saying what I've been reading in the comments and from the other bloggers and different people trying to make it look like Bambi's wrong for wanting to be a wife. She's supposed to have access to Scrappy's phone. She's supposed to have access to anything that's coming in to him. So if Erica's communicating with Scrappy, then that's her communicating with Bambi. Bambi is absolutely correct with that. At the same time, I feel Rashida is absolutely correct in making sure that Jasmine understands that no matter how you communicate with Kirk, I'm going to get aware of it, and you're going to have to communicate with him how I say so as long as I'm around. And if your feelings weren't hurt when you were hurting her feelings, don't let your feelings get hurt now. Okay? Don't need everybody to come and pat you up. She wrong for that. She's wrong for what? She didn't owe you anything, just like you didn't owe her anything. It's a level playing field. And if more women looked at it like that, and let me shout out Jocelyn Hernandez. I'm sitting on the floor, y'all, because my little thing is kind of little and I like to be right face front. Jocelyn Hernandez in that scene in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta when Stevie J gave her and Mimi Faust the life partner gang rings. Remember that? And how Jocelyn, when Mimi started laughing, did not get mad at Mimi. I love that. That's exactly what makes Jocelyn the person she is. Because that was totally on her and on Stevie. And she left it between them. Like, I make fun of Mimi all the time. I call her Mimi the maid, Me Molly the maid, all of this. So I'm not going to get mad at her for getting her 20 chuckles in right now, baby. No, ma'am, Pam. I'm going to let her have that. And I'm going to deal with this man I call mine. Now, if she's still with him when you see her next time, that's her business. That's his business. But that's how you deal with it, baby. So don't get mad at a woman if she deals with her man and stays at home with him. Okay, that's her business. Just like when I let my husband go, I let him go. Okay, it's a blues song out there. Shirley Johnson sings it best. You can have my cheating husband, but please don't mess with my man. Yes, and that's where I am with it, baby. You can have him because I can get another. You feel me? Okay, moving on. So now, Jermaine Dupri has been really coming out, and what is so cool about Jermaine is I wasn't going to really acknowledge him in the sense of a recorded archived video because I was the fan of So Def for so many years for producing the type of music that you could dance to, and there was no beef to it. A woman wasn't forced to be objectified. So I understand that the type of music he created when So Def was out there has him looking at Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, the City Girls, and all the other ladies who are out there talking about twerking and jerking and all that. And I'm not really big fans of that either. Let me first say that like that. I'm not big fans of it either. But at the same time, get paid, boo. It's not for me to stop your checks because I don't listen. Somebody's listening to you getting paid, girl. So that's how I feel about him. Why is he trying to stop these girls' bag? I feel like he's so wrong for that. You've had your moment in the sun, Jermaine Dupri. You've had your moment. You could have come out with the one rapper that I have found out of all of these young ladies. Shout out Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Meg Thee Stallion, City Girls. They came out with a list of rappers for us to listen to who are not twerking music rappers. And their emphasis was on stating how dope these female rappers are and how inspirational they are to them. However, because they are not about the shaking and the jaking and all of that, they don't get the airtime and they're not able to get the commercialized funding that the women who are talking about it get. And I feel like Jermaine Dupri and men like him were more content with a woman just being a stripper. Okay? I feel like they're the men who would find out that the stripper is in school and would probably laugh. You know, and it hurts my feelings about him because I thought he was more intellectual with that. I felt like it's cool for you to say it's stripper rap music, but then for all of these people to say to you, Jermaine, these girls are not all strippers. Really, only one or two of them can be said to have been associated with stripping or a strip club. The rest of them are basically just girls who talking about fun and having a good time. For him to then come up with, I feel like it just should be strap music, stripper rap music. Why not get in touch with some of these rappers that these young ladies have said about and help them put out a format? Why consistently try to make these young ladies feel like they should stop their bag when you don't even make music anymore? You might be still producing beats, but So Def is no more. And I feel like you would have still had So Def if you would have taken the time to say to yourself, I need to move into the present time. Now, I remember, you all had these videos, Money Ain't a Thing. It wasn't about stripping, but it was clear that you all were letting girls know that, getting money from you ain't a thing. So if those types of songs were out there, how are you mad at a female who's about her looks and about her body and about her hair and her nails and her makeup when you're willing to spend money on that, making a rap song, being inspired by that, saying what they'll do to get that money from you? I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see anything wrong with it. And I think that's why you have the entertainment giants you have today, like Lil Wayne, whether he's into it with Baby or not. Cash Money, the music they put out, giving us Nicki Minaj. What Cardi B's doing with the festivals, I totally agree with. That's how you get your bag. Those big orchestrated productions and concerts is what makes the tickets so high. And so a lot more people can come and see her, and she can make a name for herself and take all of that home with her on her tour bus, as opposed to somebody else collecting the bag and they have to send her a check from those concerts. She has to wait on that money. And that's the people in the music industry not being honest. You know what I'm saying? I feel like more people should be honest about how it goes. That's why I can sing, I can dance. But once I saw that the money was behind the scenes, I was like, it's no point in me killing myself moving across the stage like that only to barely be able to make ends meet like I would on a regular job. I mean, it really is backbiting and conniving. So I kind of am disappointed in Jermaine Dupri. And I kind of want to hear what you have to say about baby mamas versus wives when it comes to the children that are involved. How much of it is the baby's mom not wanting the wife to be respected because she feels like she was there first, or that because the baby, as in the Kirk Rashida situation, was created on her, well, he doesn't respect you anyway, so why should I? So I would love to hear your comments about all of this. Also, I would like for you guys to take time out to help me create new ideas. Shout out to all my new subscribers, to my old subscribers. It's gonna definitely be about politics, local and national. I'm gonna do a video about that tomorrow. However, I do want to do some of the fun stuff too, because it gets very heavy. And if you look at some of my old videos, you can tell that I ran into some real issues with people staying on politics all the time. So I do want to do some lighter things to show that my ability in journalism and broadcasting can go from one arena to the next. But I also want to show everybody that's been here, that's been asking me to continue to do my videos, that's been helping me and asking me to continue and saying that you were going to be charitable. I want you to know that I am going to continue with the politics, but also to up the views so that I can do the sponsorship to invest back in you and the businesses that you have. I have to add the entertainment because it has taken me 2 years to get about 30 subscribers. From one video, I've gotten 8 subscribers and it's still going up. So this is your girl, Civil Disobedience. I want you to hit that like, comment, subscribe button. Leave me your thoughts and opinions down below.